Okay, so a quick intro to the video. We were looking to find a property in Portugal to basically live in for most of the year and then visit our Swedish property in the summer. We had a low budget and looked online. What we were looking for was a small house with enough land to grow some crops and some vegetables and fruit, and we wanted something accessible, something ready to go but needed work, mostly DIY work. So we've picked this house. It does need a new roof, and we're going to look to get that done. Somebody to do that for us. But most of the rest of the work we want to do ourselves. It's hopefully mostly manual work, and we can do that over a period of years. We spent a lot of time looking online, studying the climate. We were looking for somewhere that wasn't too hot, was accessible, easily accessible. We weren't that worried about the parking because we knew in this house we can park up the lane. Speaking to neighbours who own the property opposite as well, they've said we can use the little driveway opposite our house when we come back with a car. So this ticked a lot of boxes, and basically we paid a deposit and bought it without seeing it. Drove down and happy with it, and paid the rest of the money and took ownership. So we've been here about a month. We've been in probably the time of year we wouldn't have wanted to be here. Maximum temperature got to about 38. At night, the warmest night was about 20. The thickness of the house, the stone house, make a huge difference. So probably took about 10 degrees off in the summer inside the house. That's without just with a fan going, but so it did cool it quite a lot. I guess we don't know what that means for the winter, but I think equally with a log burner, if we can get that heated, it'll hold the temperature well. More about how we picked the house. We looked on Google Maps. We looked at the location, how accessible it was. We wanted to be near people, but not in a town. We wanted to be walking distance from a cafe, and we are a kilometre away. Prices are amazing. A main meal there is €5. A bottle of beer is €1. A coffee's 50p. A vodka's €1.70. But also we wanted to be driving distance from a town, so we're about 5 kilometres from Cabacos, which is what you can see from the garden. Loads of shops there. For example, there's settee, which is a double bed, a sofa bed. That was €300. Went in, saw it, delivered the same day. A couple of hours later they delivered it for us. We needed a mattress. That was €200, delivered the same day. So, and there's electrical shops, mini supermarket, loads of fruit and veg. There's butchers, fishmongers. Fishmongers come to the house. So we wanted an area where we've got lots of things near us. We're also only about 15 kilometres from Tomar, which is kind of a small city, and got the big DIY shops and things like this. So we spent a lot of time driving around on Google Earth, looking at the area, and everything was as expected. We are near a forest, and in the summer we have seen the forest fire aeroplanes flying over, but there's no sign of any fires around here. But we do appreciate we are quite near to one. But I think most of central Portugal is at some sort of fire risk somewhere. but it seems like it's a hazard you live with in Portugal. Cost of living in Portugal, things are generally a lot cheaper. Supermarket prices are good. Any sort of fruit and veg is really good. If you're a smoker, tobacco prices are brilliant, less than half the price of the UK. Fuel's quite dear, about the same as the UK, probably slightly dearer. Plus the roads, a lot of the main roads have road tolls which look like they add up quite a bit. Also the price of a second-hand vehicle is, you know, double or treble the UK. But that said, a lot of the vehicles here are quite old, and even though they're expensive, they're really amazing condition and well looked after. So that's something we're going to have to consider in the future. Whether it's worth trying to bring a car over from the UK and get it Portuguese registered, or whether we want to go left-hand drive and buy a car here. Not sure yet. It's something we're going to think about. So look down the garden, go over at the back of the house. I'll do a tour inside, but that's the second part of the house, which is like a big shed. So looking around, the property is 90 square metres on 960 square metres. First of all, there's a great big orange tree, and it's covered in little oranges. That is a plum tree near the house. There's some of the oranges growing. Plum tree, they've all, because the house has been empty for at least 2 years, they've just died on the branches. That's an ornamental well. There's our second orange tree, a big one. That area there was absolutely covered in brambles, all been cleared. This is a pear tree. I've just cut it back a little bit. You can also see I tried watering a patch of the ground after I mowed it all, and the grass soon grows back. This area here is quite flat. It drops over to next door's garden. There's a big drop there, but we're thinking this could probably be our vegetable area. This top side of the garden, there is a great big concrete base, and all around it is a small wall, so I'm not sure if this was a shed or a building. I've got plans for this to maybe, if we have the roof replaced, use the old tiles and posts and beams to make a big gazebo here, an outdoor kitchen. That's next door's garden there, and this is ours. It's first of the 12 olive trees. Another olive tree. That is a peach tree. There were some peaches on there when we first arrived in early August, but they've all gone now. That is a tangerine tree, and you can see all the little tangerines on the top. On the olive trees you can see all the olives growing on the top. And I've had it checked, and really you should crop them right back every year, because the olives only grow on the new shoots. It's quite uneven here. It's like a big slope really, but another olive tree. That's all the cuttings and clippings from the garden, made into one giant compost heap. Down here, another olive. Another peach tree, still with some fruit on it. Delicious peaches. Star eating one of the first cones. The bottom of the garden, more olive trees. And this is the sort of corner of the land. So, to give you an idea what 900 square metres looks like in this type of property. It's about 80 metres up to the front of the house and between 15 and 10 metres wide. This area up here, that sort of wild woods behind us. Again, there's more olive trees. Set up a little seating area, look over the countryside. The village up there at the top of the valley is our nearest town. It's got everything, about 20-30 shops there and cafes and things. It's about 5-6 kilometres away. Walking up here, this tree I'm under here is a fig tree, and this is the beginning of September and they've really come ripe. Again, delicious ripe figs. That is the other little peach tree. Not sure what these trees are. They're probably weeds really, but I've just chopped them down and left them just in case. Not really sure what I'm looking at. You can see on this olive how it's grown up from what was a massive olive that's died or been cut down years ago. And everything you cut seems to grow back really quickly. Big dragonfly flying around. Although we've got no water here, apart from mains, at the bottom of the valley there's lots of water, and there's even water running in the streams, and there's lots of dragonflies flying around. So that's a tour of the garden area. We're due to get some rain in a few days. When I soaked this, it took a couple of days and started sprouting, hoping to get a lot of rain and then can see how things grow. Where the brambles are coming back, I'll keep cutting them down, but hopefully this will all turn green. So the next video, and the next part of the video, I'll give a tour of the house, but just to give you an idea what the land of 900 square metres looks like. Okay, so this is the road leading up to the house. If I turn around, this is the little house. We'll start with this. It's got two bedrooms and a big built-in shed as part of the house. So this is the front of the house. It's only one story. This is the side path. This is the original wall, and the walls are about 2 foot thick. I think originally it may have been a shed. This part of the house is the kitchen and bathroom extension. You can see the bottom 2 foot or so are stone, and then it's been made up with block and cement. So looking back the other way, this is the back of the kitchen area. So there's the side of the house up onto the roof, which is mostly good, but it still needs replacing. It's quite messy around here. Walk around here, there's a huge sort of concrete area all around the house, which we were pleased about, as it stops any mud, or stops more mud. Looking up on the roof, that chimney's from the fireplace. That chimney there goes into the kitchen. This is the shed part of the house at this end. This is very low doorway, and walking inside, a bit dark, but you can see sunlight through the tiles. That was an old window. There's an old door that's been bricked up, but this wall is the original main building. This side of the shed is just made of blocks and bricks. So I'll walk around this other side of the house, sort of side entrance, which is probably just slightly too narrow for a normal car. Possibly a very small car would get through there. So looking back from this angle, that's the built up shed side of the house, and the roof is more bowed there and dipped. This part here, where the electric comes in, is the original house. So I'll go inside and do a... Out here you've got the electric meter connected to the house, and this one is the water meter. So in there is the water meter and stop tap for the house. Running costs, I think a month, this is now the beginning of September, second week of September, we've run electricity for a month has cost about €36. Water, we've used about 30,000 litres. We think it's about €1 a litre, but we've seen the standing charges for the water, and that's there was an old bill left there, and that was about €7 a month if you're not using water. And I think the electric's probably going to be the same sort of cost. Although we bought this house to be our primary house, so we got 3 years of no council tax. Council tax is about €90 a year, so rough running costs are probably about €20 a month standing charges for services, and maybe €10 a month for tax. So probably for about €30 a month, you can have a house. Admittedly, quite a rundown house. Okay, a tour inside the house. This is the back door, which is made of metal like most of them, and walking in to the kitchen area, as you can see, some of the walls quite crumbly, and as you look up you can see straight to the roof and how it's constructed, which is eucalyptus and roof tiles. There's the water boiler that connects to a gas bottle. Rest of the kitchen, that's the chimney from outside. We've got the cooker under there, which again connects to a gas bottle under there, and that's our spare gas bottle. So looking around the kitchen, the sink, washing machine, fridge freezer. The cooker, the fridge freezer, the washing machine was all included with the house, as well as lots of other little bits and bobs. Into the bathroom, you can see it's just constructed this part of thin bricks separating it. Into the bathroom, we've got flushing toilet, which we which we don't have in Sweden, sink, and then a big shower unit. But it's fine, it all works well, and what our plan is completely gut this out and refit a new kitchen and think about the bathroom. So coming from the bathroom into the house, this is the original outer wall. So it's, like I say, a bedroom, paint peeling off, not the greatest ceiling, access to a loft up there, but it does fit a double bed, and there's a small hallway from the kitchen into this part of the house. That's the front door, which again is metal and swings open, but come winter time you can see gaps around it. It's going to need insulate. This is the second bedroom, so quite small, and a little window shutter, probably about 10 foot square at the most. The other bedroom's probably about 12 foot, 13 foot. So there's a big open plan area, dining area. We've got left again, most of this furniture was left. Got a window in the front. That's the other side of the electrics. Now the roof had a leak. These panels are just chipboard, and the ones that were here were mouldy, so I've ripped those down, and you can see there's a loft in there. This is the sort of snug area. We've bought a settee, put it in there, a little TV. It's got a log burner, it came with a log burner, but again, most of the things around here, like this great big unit, were just left with the house and these radiators, which was fantastic really. But you can see the state of the walls. This has all been rendered with cement, but that is joining into the shed, so we want to cut that back and make that part of a feature wall, and basically take it back to the stone, which is a lot of work. So looking up to the roof, you can see again, this is just a ceiling, and this room had a ceiling, the bedrooms had a ceiling, the hall's got a ceiling, and I think that would give you insulation with an uninsulated roof. When we replace the roof, we're going to have an insulated roof.